guys, it's Emily from Novel Novels and welcome to today's video. This is my October unhaul. Now, I spoke to you guys about doing an unhaul video and it looked like you all wanted me to do it, so I'm doing it. Now I'm filming it a few days before the end of the month, so I will be showing some books that are going to be in my wrap up, so I need to keep them until after I film my wrap up, but I've already decided I'm getting rid of them. They will be some of the last books I speak about. Now, some of these books I've already promised as gifts, but if there are any other ones that you guys, I'll mention them as I'm showing the books off, but if there are any of these books that you guys would like, first come, first served, let me know and I'll send them. I don't know how quickly I'll be sending them because I've got Chloe's Christmas present to send. I've got another booktube friend on here that's getting a surprise Christmas present. And I have obviously got Christmas, but I will definitely try and send them ideally this month in December. If not, they'll get sent in January, but I will be packaging them up ready. So if there are any books that you guys want and you're happy to wait for them, let me know in the comments below. And like I said, it is first come, first served. And I will let you know if they've already gone. Okay? But let's get down to it. The first book is one that you're not going to be surprised that is going to be unhauled. And that's The Silent Companion by Laura Purcell. It is 5-star. I absolutely friggin' love this book. But I read it, Buddy read it with Gem. I've been reading a book, Gem. And it scared the bejeebers out of me. So my friend Sammy from work's getting this. But it is safe to say that I am going to get every single one of this author's books. But whether they get kept is whether if any of them are as scary as this, then they will get read and then unhauled because I cannot have scary books in my house. I am too much of a wimp. And trust me, this book actually did give me nightmares because the silent companions in this are very scary. This is like historical fiction horror and I love historical fiction. And I've discovered that I can actually handle horror mixed in with historical fiction because although they do scare me, it doesn't scare me. I don't know, there's something about it that I still want to read them. So guys, if you think, is there any more historical fiction horror books that you think I should read? Let me know in the comments below. But this is going to Sammy because my friend Sammy from work is having an operation this month and she deserves something to make her smile. Or that's very perfect for her. She's a big horror fan, so she's going to have that. So that's going on your pile, Sammy. The next two books are books I've decided to unhaul because I've heard about, and I'm not going to go into too much detail because if I talk about them too much, that's giving the author credit. But I'm unhauling The Purple Hibiscus and Half of a Yellow Sun by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. She has basically been saying some anti-comments about the transgender and I will not support anyone that is anti anything to do with that. To me, everyone has a right to be who they are, their gender, their religion, their colour, whatever. We should not be judging them, and because of that, I've decided to unhaul these books. I was supposed to be reading The Purple Hibiscus with Olivia in next month, but we've decided that because of what the comments that have been said, we're not going to do it. I've decided to unhaul the books and that's just it. That's gone. I will not be supporting anyone that could be like that. So those two books are going. They're straight away going off the charity shop. Everyone has a right to believe what they want. So if anyone else wants to buy them, that's their choice. But to me, I can't support that. The next one, on a happier note, was a book that I bought for 20p when I was going my book buying binge. I've just since discovered it's one in a series. I don't know whether I'm going to be looking for the other books in the series. This is Girl on Fire by Toni Parsons. Apparently it's a thriller and I have been really loving my thrillers, but it's one of a series and because of that I won't be buying. I don't know where the other books in the series are going to be. It's not one that I'm desperate to get the other books for. It was an impulse buy that I bought when I was just buying my random books after lockdown, the last lockdown. So that's going to be unhauled. The next one is a book that I'm going to be giving to my friend Tracy. You guys know I love this book, The Butlins Girl by Elaine Everest. I really love this. Now, this is one that Tracy has actually said she wanted. It's set slightly after World War II, but it's got characters from the Woolworth Girls in it. So I really thoroughly love this book and she is going to love it. She loves Butlins. She loves things like that. So, Tracy, when I go next to you for our little walk, because that's all we can frigging do at the moment, you'll be getting that. That's my little gifty pile. The next one I'm gifting to my lovely sister Charlie. She always gives me books, so I'm going to give this one to her. This is Wakenhurst. I read this last month. You would have seen it in my November wrap-up part 1. Another historical fiction horror that scared the bejeebers out of me, but I enjoyed it. Another one that would freak me out if it stayed in my house, so Charlie's going to have it. It's set over in Edwardian Suffolk. A manor house stands alone in a lost corner of the fens. A glinting wilderness of water whose whispering reeds guard the ancient secrets. Maud is a lonely child growing up without a mother, ruled by a repressive father. When he finds a painted medieval devil in the graveyard, unhallowed forces are awakened. This scared the crap out of me, but I did enjoy it. It was a good book. I read it after it was very recommended by Tom, and Gemma loved it. I did enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it quite as much as The Silent Companions, but Charlie's going to like it. Charlie's going to have that, so that's going on my pile for her. So that's another gifty one. Another one I'm giving to Charlie because I'm trying to be nice. I think it's either giving. I think this one I may want back because like I said, this is another one that was in my wrap up part 1, and that's my Kathy Glass book on Finding Stevie. I love books on foster care because we did used to foster care as a family, and this one's quite interesting. It talks about Stevie is a character who's gender fluid, and this kid they have a really hard time in this book. And this is a real life story. Names have obviously been changed. Kathy Glass actually did foster all of the children she speaks about, and this is their journey together. And I found this is a very interesting book. The fact that it educated quite a lot on gender fluidity I found helpful, because I do want to learn more. But this is obviously with a foster care book. I won't be wanting to reread it because there is some very hard hitting issues in this. And if you also look on my 24-hour reading blog, I talk about this book a lot more. But it was very challenging. I think she might find it interesting. So I'm going to give this to Charlie. This one is a chick lit that I am unhauling it, but I still don't know. It's one of those books I'm going on my unhaul pile, but I don't know whether I will keep it because I did enjoy it, but realistically I probably won't read it. I got it from a charity shop, so it wasn't expensive. I really did enjoy it. It was probably one of my favourite books at the start of the month. Sometimes it looks like everyone is living their best life, everyone except you. If only you knew the full story. Again, I speak about this a lot more in my 24-hour readathon, but I think I'd like to give it. I think I'd like either one of you guys to have it, or to go in a charity shop, because I think it can teach us quite important lessons. It does handle disabilities as well. It's got disability rep. It's got rep for quite a lot of depression, for mental health issues and in this. So it's a really good book, and I did thoroughly enjoy it. So if anyone wants this, there you go. That one's up for sale. Not sale because I'm giving it for free. You know what I mean. The next one, I don't keep my thrillers, do I? But this was another top book. I absolutely thoroughly loved this. The Ice Cream Girls by Dorothy Comson. This is, again, another one of my top books of the month. It might even be one of my top books of the month so far. The Ice Cream Girls by Dorothy Comson. So I thoroughly loved this. Really enjoyed it. But it's a thriller. It's Serena and Poppy with the teenagers when they were branded the Ice Cream Girls. When they were accused of murder, one of them was sent to prison while the other one was set free. Now, 20 years later, one of them is doing all she can to clear her name, and the other is frantically trying to keep secrets. This does tackle grooming and sexual abuse and abuse in general, and it's very hard hitting. So this is not a gentle book, but it's again brilliant. It was my first Dorothy Comson thriller, and I will definitely be picking up a lot more of her work because it is brilliant. Dorothy Comson is an amazing black author who started off with chick lit and has gone into thrillers. And I am definitely going to pick up all her thrillers as well as her chick lits now. So she's a big author I would like to boost up. The next one was a very meh book. I've only read it with Chloe. I think I rated it 3 stars. I think I might have dropped it from 3.5 down to 3. The Keeper of Lost Things by Ruth Hogan. I read another one of her books, and again they're okay. I'm not saying that they're bad, but it's very plodding along. There were some bits in this book that were brilliant. Another one I talk about in my blog. And there is a character in here, Sunshine, who's got a disability. Again, if I tell you what it is, it spoils the fun of it. But she is my favourite character. She breaks the norm. She makes you realise that everything is not always what you seem. There is some supernatural elements in this that it's either supernatural or magical realism. I'm not entirely sure. I took it the supernatural bit, and other people could have taken it the more magical realism part. But I did enjoy it. It was a really good book. And it's about the keeper of Anthony Perdu, who spent half his life collecting lost objects, trying to atone for a broken promise many years ago. This is a good book. Very, very good. This is a good book, but it was kind of 3 stars, middle of the road. It's not one I need to keep, although it's very, very pretty. Now, the next one was my friend's choice for the month. It's Ferociously Happy by Jenny Lawson. This, again, tackles mental health. Again, it's good, but I think this is one that other people would get more out of. I didn't get it much. I think it was mental health, but it was sort of tackled in America. And some of the American terms I didn't understand. So that could be from where I'm set, where I am, that I didn't get it all. It was informative, and there are some bits of it I found very, very informative. Other bits I didn't quite get. But it might be one that will help other people. So thank you, Charlie, for choosing it. But let's see if anyone else wants to get some stuff out of it. Now, the next one, I was debating whether I kept it, whether I unhauled it, and I've decided I'm going to unhaul it. I actually pay full price for this, so I'm gutted that I'm actually unhauling it. But it's probably my least favourite Kate Morton book so far, The Clockmaker's Daughter. I have read The Secret Keeper this month, and I've enjoyed that. This I didn't enjoy as much, so I'm not going to keep it. But it's got I think it's got 3 different timelines. 1862 is one of them. You've got the present, and you've got some other timelines. But I didn't connect this as easy. I didn't connect to this as much as I wanted to. So I think it would be good to go to another home. It's a very chunky book. Now, the next one was one that my sister Charlie, I wasn't sure if it was giving or lending. And I have been debating whether I unhaul this for months. Because it was up for the Women's Prize. It won the Women's Prize once. But after really struggling with Vox, I don't think I can handle this. It's certainly not with my mental health at the moment. And this is basically the reverse side of Vox. Vox was like men were in control. This is women are in control. All over the world, women are discovering they have the power. With a flick of a finger, they can inflict terrible pain, even death. Suddenly, every man in the planet finds they've lost control. The day of the girls has arrived, but where will it end? So this is effectively going to tackle mental health, but it's going to tackle it. It's going to tackle racism. Oh, I know what I mean. It's going to tackle feminism, but turn it on its head. I struggle with. I don't think either gender or any gender should have anyone more like dominating than the other. So women do not have a right to tell men what to do, and men do not have a right to tell women what to do. And I think we all have equal rights. So to flip side of it, I don't think I could cope with that. I really don't. Like I said, I don't personally think that anyone has a right to have power over anyone else. Gender, colour, whatever else. We've all got our own rights. So yeah, I'm unhauling that. I just don't think I can handle that. The next one's one you're not going to be surprised I'm unhauling, Carrie. I've got a few other Stephen King books that my sister Charlie gave me at the start of the year. I'm rapidly thinking that I'm going to unhaul them all because I don't think Stephen King's for me. Tia liked it. I didn't. I've already wrote Tia. And Tia liked it. I didn't. It's not one for me. It was too gory and gruesome. Read this as well. And I've spoken about this in one of my wrap-ups, but this is another one that I'm just going to unhaul. A true love story. It does tell me about Jack the Ripper, and I did find it informative, but it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. Next one's a Queen Choice by Anna Bryan. I did enjoy this, but it wasn't. And this was set in France 1399, so it's an era of history that I've not read about. One question, 2 parts, a choice that will make history. I do enjoy this author's work, but I won't be rereading it, so I'm going to get rid of it. Now, the next one, I bought my Margaret Atwood books before, and since I've got this one, I've been told that this one is tackling people being cheated on and things like that. It's a very long book. It was a winner of the 2000 Booker Prize, so 20 years old. Even Xenia's name is enough to provoke the old sense of outrage, humiliation and confused pain. If this tackles cheating, I can't handle that. My first fiancé cheated on me and it affected me more than ever. So I really don't think I can handle this. It's a very big book. I've got a few other Margaret Atwoods that I am going to keep, but I don't think, from what I've heard of other people's reviews of it, I don't think I like it enough that I'm going to want to keep it. And I'm not willing to try. So that's going bye-byes. Hazelwood. Now, some people have loved this. Chloe didn't like it, but I did read it. I think I got rated it 3 stars. Beautiful. It's hard to get rid of because it's got this coloured edges, which I love. But it was very weird. Very, very weird. It was one of those books where you had to keep reading it, but you didn't know why. It's fantasy, it's a bit horror-y, a bit weird. Yeah, not one to keep. Next one, again, it's been in one of my other wrap-ups. Boys Don't Cry. I got this in a charity shop because I do love Mallory Blackman's work, but this was a very, very YA book. Very, very, and I think the principle of it is really good. That boys don't cry, so boys should cry. You know, it shouldn't be a case of you shouldn't be told your boy you can't cry. That's just wrong. And I think it's important to treating us that we all have a right to show our emotions. And this is about a boy who's waiting for his exam result, only to find out that the next thing the doorbell rings. It's your old girlfriend, and she's carrying a baby, your baby. She's had enough, and now it's your turn. What would you do? And there's two characters in this. It is a good book, and it's very good, but it's very YA and too YA for me, so I'm not going to keep that. And this is a book that I could quite easily throw away because I hated it. I know a lot of you read it for the BookTuber Prize Award, and a lot of people had said they didn't like it. Now I know why. I really didn't like it. I feel guilty for not liking it because I feel like I should have liked it. My sister Charlie gave it to me. It's very hard hitting. There's some bits of it that's very, very... Charlie gave it to me, so I didn't technically buy it. Between 2005 and 2009, in a religious Mennonite colony, over 1,100 girls and women are knocked unconscious and raped repeatedly by what is many thought of as ghosts and demons. And their accounts were dismissed as wild female imagination. And it is very challenging, but I think there are so many bits that characters should have been talked about more. Didn't get it, didn't like it. It's getting unhauled. Now I'm going to literally very quickly show you, so I'm not going to talk about them too much because I'll be talking about them in my wrap up at the end of them in the next week or so. Next week I'll be filming that. Winter in Madrid, historical fiction. It was one I didn't know whether I would keep reading it. This is set in 1940, after the Spanish Civil War. Madrid lies ruined. This is again very hard hitting. I've not read books set in the war in Spain, so that was a different country. It is good, but it was not good enough that I liked it. I found the start really dragging. I didn't know whether I'd continue, but because I'd been given it from a friend, I wanted to carry on. Read it, just not read it enough, liked it enough. The next one I want to give away, I would like someone to pick this up and choose this because this is a really good book, but I think it would definitely set me emotionally. When her daughter Beth dies suddenly, Peggy Andrews is left to pick up the pieces and take care of her granddaughter Flo. But sorting through Beth's things reveals a secret never told. Beth was sick with the same genetic condition that claimed her father's life, and now Peggy must decide whether to keep the secret or risk destroying her granddaughter's world. Beth and her father had the same genetic condition. I won't tell you what it is yet because I think you should read it. And it's one that we know you can find out more about. And it's about, would we choose to have a test to find out what our future will be if we have a condition that will change our lives and could bring our lives to an end earlier? Would you want to know your future? Would you take the test to find out the future? And that really is about, this is a really important lesson that you'll learn in this, is do you want to know your future? Would you do something that would teach you your future, or are you better off with the unknown? And it's about learning about history, learning about whether it's better to know or not know what your life's going to turn out like. This is really good. It's about families as well, and I love that. Bit of romance in it, which is good. But I think I would like someone else to read that because I think this could teach you a lot of lessons. So let's go in there. This was a really big... so many people have loved Maggie O'Farrell's work, and I felt guilty for one of her other books, her non-fiction book. I did enjoy it slightly more, but it wasn't one that I would enjoy enough to want to reread. I've got one more of this author's books in my shelves that I bought not very long ago. This was alright. The Hand That First Held Mine, it has some really good books in it. It's historical fiction, so it's sort of set. It has two timelines. We have the 1950s and the present day, and the two connecting storylines do work quite nicely together. So in the past, we have Lexi Sinclair is waiting for life to begin, with the sophisticated Innes Cant turns up on her doorstep in rural Devon. She realises she can wait no longer and leaves for London. And you go on Lexi's journey. And then in the present day, we've got Ted and Alina no longer recognise their life with the arrival of their first child. and that's their journey. That's interesting. The Two Connections, it is good. It was a 3-star, but not one I liked enough that I want to keep. Like I said, I will talk about it more. This is one I actually didn't think I would like. Memoirs of a Geisha. I did rate it 5 stars, but it's not one I will reread. It's taught me quite a lot. It's historical fiction and it's about the geishas. I didn't think I'd like this, and I know this author is quite, I've been told, is quite problematic, but I did find it very interesting, and it was actually one I struggled to put down, and I did like it a lot more than I thought I would. So it's 5 stars, but I'm not going to keep it. The one I finished literally yesterday, and it's because it's a wartime book, I think I'm going to give this one to my mum, The Dressmakers Gift, on our Facebook group, that we do, Facebook book group. We talk. Someone else has mentioned that they like this author's work. I picked this up in a charity shop for 20p, and it was actually a 5-star. But it's one I think Mum's gonna. I'm gonna unhaul it because it's going to Mum. Whether I borrow it back off her, I don't know. Because this is set about in France in the time of the war. Again, I don't really think I've gone over France in that yet. Paris in 1940, within a city occupied by the Nazis, 3 young seamstresses are about to go their normal lives the best they can, but all 3 are hiding a secret. War-scarred Morel is fighting with the resistance. Claire has been seduced by a German officer, and Vivienne is involved in something that she can't reveal to either of them. And then 2 generations later, Claire's English granddaughter Harriet arrives in Paris, and she wants to find out her history. She wants to find out what happened to her grandmother, because she's never known. And this is really interesting. I love the dual timelines. For this to get a 5-star on a wartime book is amazing. But I did enjoy it. But it is very, very hard hitting. There was stuff at the end that really triggered me off and that made me feel very emotional. But I did enjoy it, and I'm glad I read it. But it's going to be unhauled. Mummy's going to have that one, so that's going to go on the shelf. Actually, I can't give it to Mum yet because I've still got to put it in my video. But there you go. I've tried not to make this too long, but it's a bit longer than I wanted. But like I said, guys, if there's any of these books you want me to send to you or give, or at any point, let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and not subscribed yet, ring on my ding-a-ling. And I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.